taking a look at AFL, obviously, and bringing what it is that you've learned there back into camp, and obviously just that hype as well. Obviously talking a bit about that, but also just focusing on the national team as well as what needs to be done here in these World Cup qualifiers.
Good day, everyone. Good to see you guys again. Thanks so much. Obviously, we learned so much on playing the AFL. It's very tough. Playing every 3-4 days. You need to be mentally prepared, especially with the long traveling. So, it's just the experiences that we've, gained over the last few months, last few years, with Percy as well. So, we'll share our experiences because it's not easy, and we'll be, facing a similar challenge now, where we're playing home and then away. So, it's just for us to make sure, that we recover well. Like the coach said, recovery is going to be key. It's going to be important because we've played so many games. And it's just to remain, hungry. This is our job at the end of the day, and we don't need to look for any excuses. Each and everyone gets tired, but you get paid to do this job. So it's just to be mentally focused each and every time, to go out there and do a job. And yeah, coming to the camp, glad to be here again. Looking forward to the games. It's obviously the start of our World Cup campaign. We've got the experience, the valuable experience we gained over the last two years. The pain we felt, has carried us through, the last year or so. So yeah, I'm just glad to be part. Looking forward to the camp. Obviously, there's a good feel in the camp. The results that we've got over the last few months has been amazing. So, we want that to continue. There's a lot of new faces, a lot of familiar faces. So it's our job, as the leadership, just to make them feel part of the team. And yeah, we're just looking forward to the games. And, to Lyle Foster, from the team, obviously we miss him. He's in our thoughts, he's in our prayers. We just hope, that everything can go well for him, and that, he can return to do what he does best, which is play football, so he's got our love and support.
Percy, from your side, obviously it isn't as easy, it's not as cut and dry. You sit here, you represent your country, you have media, you have the entire South Africa watching as well. What is your hope? Your hope in the World Cup qualifiers campaign, because that is where Bafana wants to be. Your hope in terms of AFCON and how South Africa and media can rally behind the team and offer them the support that they so deserve.
Hello everyone. Yeah, it's good to be back home and then having the opportunity to represent my country. I'm also looking forward to the games that we want to have right now. We want to win, and then we also want to go to the World Cup. I think everyone plays a role in helping us achieving that. We need all the support that can come out and give us. It's either from the fans or from the media. We just want everyone to be part of this, and we're excited about the challenges that we have going to AFCON, and we'll be ready.
Ready for these World Cup qualifiers too?
Yeah, we are ready.
All right, taking questions for Ronwen and Percy. Go ahead.
Just
So over here first, and then you, Billy.
okay.
Speaking of support, you guys are going to play down in Durban. What's your message, to the supporters looking at the amazing atmosphere yesterday? The 12 men played a huge role. What's your message to South Africans in order for them to come out and support you guys?
Yeah, it's so key. It's key for the supporters to come. They play such an important role. And we've been crying out for their support for the last few months. I think we've done extremely well as a team. We've turned things around. So we need them to get behind the boys, as we've seen now with the experiences with the AFL. When you go to play at Al Ahly or you go to Wydad Casablanca, they make it so difficult for you. The atmosphere is crazy. You can't hear yourself, and that's why they're so successful, because the supporters support them, through thick and thin. So I would just like to urge the South Africans to get, behind the team, get behind the boys, just continue cheering for us, fill the stadiums. It's amazing, and we've seen what it's done with the rugby boys. They've been amazing over the last few years, because they've got the support. There was a time when things were not going good for them as well, but the supporters stuck by them. So I'm hoping the same can happen to us, and I'm hoping to see on Saturday, a full Moses Mabhida.
Billy,
Yes. Gents, back-to-back AFCONs, the World Cup has always been the dream. And now from 5 to 9.5 slots available for Africa, what would it take for this team to get there, especially driven by you as the two leaders?
The belief. The most important thing is to believe that we can achieve it. I mean, 2 years ago, we were one game away, 90 minutes away from achieving our dream, so it's possible. And I mean, the core of that team is still together today, so we've learned our lessons. As you can see over the last year or so, we've done extremely good work. So the most important thing is to believe that it's possible. We can do it, we can achieve it. So it starts in your mind, to believe that you can do it. So, and you can see it. You've got a coach who believes in you, he believes in each and every player that's here, and he believes that we can achieve things. So we need to believe it as well, and the mentality is there now in this group.
Maplatsi, then Lorenz.
Yes. Your part.
I think you said enough. But then just to add on, we want everyone also to believe in us. I think we believe so much in ourselves, and we also want South Africa to show that they believe in us. I mean, it does happen that we lose games or we draw games, but we still need the support to be there. Because it shouldn't only come in when we win or we go to AFCON or to the World Cup. It should always be there with us. And now we will make sure that we do our best in the World Cup qualifiers to make sure that South Africans are happy.
My question is for both of you. Looking at the programs now, between now and AFCON, there's not too much of break in between. Because, I mean, this was just 2-3 weeks ago. You guys do a lot of traveling. How much of a permanent does your body take with this traveling stuff and with not enough break in between? How do you manage this thing? Because it's quite hectic.
It's tough, but I mean, the technical team is so key. You heard the coach's first remarks was, it can't be an intense camp this time around. And that's amazing from the coach because he understands the load that it takes, from the players. So, recovery is so key, and how you live your life as well as an individual. You can't be partying and enjoying life when you are playing every 2-3 days and traveling. You need to rest, take care of yourself, and build the ultra professional. It's tough. Africa is so massive and it's big, so the traveling, it takes its toll, but it's what you do, as an individual and as a team, just to recover, stay focused, and once you get the time to rest, then then you can do all your other activities.
Yeah, personally, I believe that also it's important to take good care of your body because there's just so many games and then there's not so much rest in between. Then everything's at stake during those times, so it's important to also take good care of our bodies and follow a routine. Do always your routine, whatever that you do in your recovery that helps you.
You're not going to tell them about your recovery kit? Did you travel in another big bag?
Nah, they know. These guys, I've seen a lot of faces here, and we've been together for some time. They know.
By the way, could you never say she was working barefoot?
Nah.
Any other questions, Lorenz?
Percy, this is for you. Might also apply to Ronwen. You guys come from very successful clubs, domestic and continentally. And obviously there's a certain level of mentality and professionalism within the core group of players. But does it translate to the national team as well? Do you feel like everybody is on that level of their mentality to chase success?
Do you go first? Yeah, I think so. I think everything rubs off the guys. If you watch our training sessions, both teams, no one wants to lose. And then whoever scores, we feel their celebrations that they want to win. So I think that's something new going with our national team right now, that where we celebrate even at training. Because before it used to be just training, score, it's normal. But now you can see that both teams don't want to lose even at training, so we're all trying to chase success. And then we see it in other sports that it's possible for South Africa to get success, so we also want to follow that.
Is that it? Passion? Right on. Oh, one more. Go ahead. Sorry.
So both of you, I know you touched a bit in terms of Anjabla and Phoenix 24. I know you touched a bit in terms of the life situation, but in terms of looking at your careers and stuff that you go through, when it comes to Bafana, it's one of the most criticized teams around in the country. So how do you handle that, and where do you get that support in terms of being in the right mental space and ensuring that you're able to deliver?
Well, obviously, it's tough, but once you become a professional, there's a lot of things that's out of your control. And I always believe control what you can control, and that is yourself, So I know what I can do and what I'm capable of, and I don't need someone else's approval, and I just take care of myself. And, we go through so many personal challenges, especially where we come from, our society, the places where we come from. It's a lot of things going on, and there's a lot of negative things that's going on, but you need to be strong, you need to, try and be that inspiration, for things to change. I mean, I've seen Siya Kolisi always speaking about that. In his press conference, he doesn't speak about them winning, he always speaks about being an inspiration to the country. So that's what we try and do, is to give hope, to the person who's struggling at home. And it's not easy, but the small platform that we've got, we try and do what we can to put South Africa on the map and to give, hope to the next generation.
Yeah, I also feel that it's hard mentally to take in everything that people say and the goals that you set to yourself as an individual. Sometimes you achieve them, sometimes you don't, but people tend to forget that you are also a human being with feelings and emotions. That stuff do get to you, but at the same time, we always try and pull in a tough face and go through the moments. What I do is I always try and get closer to my family. And then, sometimes you can't control opinions, and you just look at what you can control, and you try and live off there. And some situations are not really there to affect you. People tend to be negative sometimes, but it's not because of your doing. So you try and look at what they are saying. Is it really about me, or they are just trying to be negative about the situation? So, mentally it's hard.
Happy? On that note, thanks guys. We can move over to